What's up, everybody? It's Big Roth TV, and I'm back with another video. All right, so in a shocking turn, I had this delivered super early today. I wasn't expecting this to come in to later tonight, but it got delivered early this morning. I was actually going back to sleep, and I got the notification that said that this had arrived, the new Nintendo Switch 2. All right, and also I got a micro SD express card, 256 gigs for the Nintendo Switch. All right, so this is the $4.99 bundle that came with Mario Kart World, and that was the better of the deal instead of buying the regular Switch 2 and then buying Mario Kart later, because Mario Kart by itself is $80. So save $30 by buying the bundle. But here it is. Here is the box and everything. We put the SD card down. This is what it looks like. Very excited for this. Here's the bottom. And let's go ahead and get it cracked open and set up. Alright, so here we are. Switch 2. Alright. There is a little bit of tape on the back. So let me get that off here. Let me see if I can just, yep. Quick swipe. And now we should be able to get on in here. You take that down. And then this is like instructions telling you how to plug everything up there. Alright. How to detach the Joy-Cons, press power, everything, set up everything. Alright. You open up the top and there is your system immediately. I had a friend of mine just tell me that at GameStop they were doing the release and stapling the receipts of the purchases to the top of the box, so it damaged some people's systems. So luckily I didn't have to deal with that. But here is the Joy-Cons. Here's the blue Joy-Con there. Pretty nice. Alright. Got that. Place that to the side. And then here is the other one. Here is the red. Alright, take that out. We'll place that to the side as well. And this is your actual system. Oh. Take that out. Wow. Wow. Nice. Nice. That's definitely bigger than the previous one. Alright. And I like this kickstand. I like this kickstand because the previous Switch kickstand was flimsy and it would pop off. But yeah, that's nice right there. I like how I can just sit that down. That's a good look right there. I like that. Alright, so we'll put that to the side. Place the plastic here. And this looks like my copy of Mario Kart World. Alright, so I'll put that to the side there. And here's the instructions, usual books and shit, as Flossie Carter would say. Alright, put that to the side here. On this side, HDMI cord. Thank goodness for that. We'll put that over here. And these are your straps, your wrist straps and covers for your Joy-Cons so that you can use your Joy-Cons as a mouse. Alright, we'll put that over here. This is, okay, nothing else in there. Here is, what is this? Okay, so this is your controller. and you can put, or this is where you can put the Joy-Cons to have a controller. All right, if you didn't buy the Pro controller, which I didn't, but I do plan to get eventually. I do plan to get the Pro controller. So you can use this as a controller. You put the Joy-Cons in there, put that to the side. This is your power brick here. All right, that's a thick boy. And Nintendo there on the side, and USB-C plug there. Put that down. And then here is your USB-C cable. USB-C to USB-C. All right. One end will go into the power brick. The other will go into the system. Okay. What do we got here? I believe this is the dock. Yep, that's the end of everything in the box. So this is the dock. Nintendo Switch 2 docking station, so you can connect it to the TV. And this shows here when it's powered up to the television there on the side. Here's everything. You can see the USB-C, not USB-C, but the USB plugs there on your back, Nintendo. And then your HDMI port goes down in there. So I think you can take this off. Yeah, this comes off, the back comes off. So you can plug everything in there. Your power and your HDMI port plugs in right there. All right, and then this just goes right back in place, pops back on, and it's got vents for airflow and everything, so your system doesn't overheat. All right, so that's what's in the box. Now we'll go ahead and get it set up. Before we set everything up, I wanted to get into the actual system. So this is the side where the red Joy-Con will go. And you see the connector there. And then here's the blue side. On the bottom, you see speakers and everything here. Speakers, your USB-C port here. All right. And then it looks like more speakers there. But this part here is where your micro SD will go. And I've already placed my micro SD in there in preparation of getting everything set up. And then on the top, you have another USB-C port there. So this one is for when you're putting it in the dock, and this is another one at the top. Vents and everything. That is your power button, volume up and down. And then over here, headphone jack. And this, if I can get it open, this area here is where your game cartridges will go, your game cards. All right, now let's go ahead and get this set up. So here is the Switch and the Joy-Con. Here is the Joy-Con connecting. Look. And boom, it's kind of a magnetic pull. You put that button there on the back to disconnect it, comes back out, connects right back in. Here is the other one. Trying to do this around the camera. Where it connects right in place. Pull it back out with the button here on the back, and then connects right back in place. All right, so here we are on the TV, and let's see if everything is set up accordingly. HDMI 3. And are we not powered up? Let's see. Here is the Switch 2 down here next to the original Switch games. And let's hit the power button on the top. light comes on, and then that should power it up to the TV. There we are. So it wants me to take it out of the dock. Let's see if that did anything. Okay, there we are. I'll put it back in. And now it's wanting me to do the whole setup. For the sake of setup, I'm gonna use the controller with the Joy-Cons like this. So this is how that would look. All right, not bad, doesn't feel weird. And once again, there is the Switch 2 down there with the original Switch games. That's what it would look like without the Joy-Cons on. All right, Xbox Series X there, PlayStation 5 there. All right, so let's go ahead and get back to the setup process here. All right, we got it connected to the internet now. So let's see what the next step is. All right, got a update, system update that we need to download. Let's do next. Time zone, that is not my time zone. Let's see here, let's go to the Chicago region. All right, you can play games wherever you want, however you want. You can adjust the stand to get the best viewing angle. You can connect the AC adapter to the top. Yep, I showed you all that. That's how you detach the Joy-Cons. You can use the accessories that came with it. All right, so yeah, this just shows you everything. I'm gonna skip that. Then you can choose however you would like to play it. Now we're downloading the system update. Okay, so the next step here is to start a system transfer if you have the previous Nintendo Switch. So you can bring all your information over, all right? Or if you don't want to, you don't have to. So I do have one, and I'm gonna transfer it over. So then it asks you to sign into the same Nintendo account that your Switch, your original Switch, is signed into. Then it brings this up so that you can scan that. So let's go ahead and do that. As you can see, I'm now signed in. What's the next step? Move this system and the source system close together. So that's the part that I'm gonna have to hold off on. Let me go grab the other, the original Switch. It's in my daughter's room. I gave it to her. So let me go get the original one. Okay, so here is the original Switch. All right. Original Nintendo Switch. I really did not like that kickstand. But let's put it down here as it says to do. It says to move them close together. So let's see, now that they are together. Next. All right, so they are next together. And now let's see. Open the home menu and select system settings on. Okay, all right, so let me do that. As you can see, system transfer to Switch 2. So I'm gonna click A. The systems, all right, letting you know everything is gonna be transferred to the new one. Next. Yep, close that software. Oh, you got to do an update here before you transfer. All right, so now let's doing that update. And we'll come back once this is finished. Update is complete. Now we can continue the system transfer. All right, go next. Need to put them back to each other. You can keep playing Switch. You can keep playing compatible Nintendo Switch software on the Switch 2 system. Alright, make sure your Switch 2 is nearby. Alright, so it's nearby. I'm going to put it down there. And then we'll come back. Alright, so this is the process to transfer your information from your original Switch to the new one here. Alright, you have to use both power bricks, the original one from the original Switch and the new one. You have to plug them both in to do this. All right, so we'll go ahead and hit start download here, and that should begin the process. Had to take it out of the dock and actually plug it in so that you can start the process, and there it is. It's starting it now, and then transferring everything to the new one. So I'll check back in once this process has completed. Okay, so the setup process on the new one has been completed. As you can see, here is the original Switch, and everything is still here. You can still play games and stuff on here. But now everything, my account and games and everything should now be over here. So what I will do is I'm going to put this Switch 2 back in the dock, and we'll see if everything is complete. All right, so we're back in. Setup is now complete. It says for me to hit the home button. And there's that. Where's my volume here? All right. So everything is now set up. And we are loading. Those are some of the games that were on my previous one. So we have everything from the previous Switch loaded on here. I'm probably not going to play this very much. I got this for my daughter, but at least I know it's there. So this is what the home screen will look like. Alright. Virtual game cards, controllers. I still need to set up the Mario Kart. So I haven't put that on here yet. So let me see how I go about doing that. We're signed in now. And this is the Nintendo eShop. This is some of the games that are available on your system. Alright, so these are some of the things you can buy. I can download Madden if I'd like. I already have this Donkey Kong Bonanza. I have this pre-ordered. I may cancel that pre-order and just download it digitally instead of doing anything else, but let's see here. So I'll have to go down and enter a code. Alright, so now that has been entered my code, and then I'll hit redeem, and then we'll be downloading Mario Kart World. Alright, go ahead and confirm that. Virtual game card added. Gives you information about that. Some digital software and downloadable content. Alright, blah blah blah. You can pause that and read it. And then okay. Then I'll be able to play. That's pretty cool that they show how that works. And now Mario Kart World is loading. So once this gets set up, we'll get back into it. Finally got the game downloaded. As you can see right here, Mario Kart World ready to go. So now we're going to go with the first startup. And it's going to be me. Mario Kart World. Looks pretty cool. And as you can see, everything is up and going. Looks pretty cool. So I'm gonna get into this. Finally got everything rocking and rolling. But that's gonna do it. We're gonna stop here. I'm gonna go ahead and enjoy a little Mario Kart World, and I will holler at you all in the next video. Peace.